Welcome. Today, we're going into some really dark territory, looking at inherited fear, you could say. We've got this collection of stories, anonymous accounts actually, detailing what people claim are, well, family curses, patterns of tragedy that just seem inexplicable. Now, our aim isn't to prove if ghosts or curses are real, not at all. We're using these stories to unpack the sheer psychological weight they carry. How does a string of terrible luck turn into something more, something believed, something feared across generations? It's a really unsettling look at how powerful stories can be.
Exactly. And these accounts, whether the root cause is genetic, simple bad luck, or actual folklore, they represent real fears, documented events that happen to real people. Our goal here is to analyze what these families believe, how these patterns show up again and again, the rules, the timing. It's fascinating.
Okay, let's get into it. The first one is quite something. It sets the stage perfectly, I think. An English family, their wealth, this old cottage. It all goes back to the great-grandfather, the GGF, they call him. And how he got his money was always a bit murky. Business, maybe gambling, or, as the family whispers suggested, some kind of pact with a gypsy.
The classic mysterious fortune origin story.
Right. But whatever it was, things went wrong pretty fast. The GGF, he was only 29, and suddenly he just lost his mind. Started filling journals, describing this thing he called the Thin Red Man.
Thin Red Man.
Yeah. Described as bony, emaciated, but bright red like raw skin. Said it crawled on the walls, whispered constantly. His last journal entry was just about the whispering, how it wouldn't stop. The next day, he killed himself.
Awful. But what's striking, analytically speaking, isn't just the tragedy itself, but the pattern that follows. It's incredibly rigid. It focuses only on the firstborn sons, and it works like clockwork. 10 years.
Explain that.
The GGF died at 29. His son, the narrator's grandfather, died exactly 10 years later, age 39, drowned in the estate pond. Officially sleepwalking. But the family, they blamed the Red Man.
And it didn't stop there.
No. The narrator's father, the next firstborn son, died 10 years after that, age 49.
How?
Suicide. Deliberate. Just like his grandfather, the GGF.
So you have this horrifying 10-year countdown for each generation's first son, 29, 39, 49.
Precisely. And this is where the psychology gets really interesting. The person telling this story now, he's 26.
Getting close to 29.
Very close. And he's trying desperately to rationalize it. He talks about genetical mental illness. But think about the narrative trauma. His father, his grandfather, they both read the GGF's original journal. That horrifying description of the Red Man.
So it wasn't a new hallucination each time?
Potentially not. It's like a blueprint for terror passed down. A suggestion planted, waiting to bloom around that critical age. It's confirmation bias, weaponized almost.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge itself might be the trigger.
It's profoundly disturbing, the idea that knowing about it makes it happen. And the narrator, he's planning a family, and he mentions this really unsettling hope he has.
What's that?
That his first child will be a girl. Because the curse or illness, whatever it is, seems to only hit the males.
Wow. So relief for him, potentially, but tied to the continuation of this dread for the male line.
It's a heavy burden.
Okay, so the Red Man feels like an internal, maybe psychological or inherited entity. Let's shift gears a bit. What about curses that seem to come from outside?
From conflicts, grudges, aimed at a whole bloodline.
Right, like an external attack. The most famous example in these sources is probably the one people call the Curse of the Dragon. It involves the Lee family.
Bruce Lee's family.
Yes. The story goes that Bruce Lee's father, Li Wei-chen, he was an opera singer, apparently angered some powerful Chinese merchants, and they cursed his family line, specifically saying the males would die young.
Okay, that's a very direct threat.
And if you look at what happened, well, it's hard to ignore. Bruce Lee himself died very young, only 32. Officially, cerebral edema, brain swelling. Still debated, but definitely young.
A global icon, cut down in his prime. Then there's his son, Brandon Lee. Even more shocking, in a way. He died at 28.
On a film set, wasn't it?
Exactly. Filming The Crow. A prop gun, a .44 Magnum, was supposed to be safe, but it had an obstruction, basically fired a real projectile fragment. A freak accident, incredibly improbable.
2 generations. Both famous, fit men. Both dead before 33. The odds are staggering.
Yeah. And the source material notes something interesting. Since Brandon Lee didn't have any sons,
the curse might be broken. The line ended.
That's the observation some in the family made. This idea pops up elsewhere, too, this concept of transference or substitution.
It does. There's a really stark example in a Haitian voodoo story we looked at. It lays out the transactional nature very clearly.
Tell us about that one.
A family's baby sister was critically ill, high fever, near death. A mysterious old man appeared, told the parents the child was cursed. But then he offered them a choice, a terrible one. He said, I can save her, but the curse needs somewhere to go. It will pass to someone else in your family. Do you accept?
What did they do?
They were desperate. They agreed. He did some kind of ritual. By the next morning, the baby was completely fine, recovered. A miracle, it seemed.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
There is. The mother, overjoyed, rushed to tell her sister, referred to as Aunt T. She arrived to find her brother-in-law distraught. Aunt T had died suddenly in the night. Massive heart attack.
Just like the old man predicted.
Exactly. Now somebody else in your family is dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't random misfortune anymore. It was framed as a direct exchange. A life for a life. That perceived system makes it feel much more like a curse.
These stories, they really pile up, the weight of them. And you see how families, faced with these patterns that just seem undeniable, they react, they create rules, rituals.
Trying to impose order on the chaos.
Exactly. Like the May 25th story. This one feels like a deadly game the family is forced to play every single year.
Yeah.
Generations back, they noticed that every May 25th, like clockwork, one family member would just disappear, vanish, no explanation.
So what did they do?
They made a rule, a strict ritual. Every year on May 25th, the entire family has to gather. They stay in one room for the full 24 hours. Nobody leaves the sight of another relative, not even for the bathroom. It's a group trip.
Constant surveillance as a defense mechanism.
Their only defense, they believe, shared anxiety, holding the unknown at bay.
And does it work? Or rather, what happens if someone breaks the rule?
There's an example, a second cousin, Tony. He thought the whole thing was ridiculous. Hogwash, he called it. Went to a concert on May 25th instead.
Wow.
3 weeks later, he was found dead. High-speed car crash.
Wow. So for the family, that's immediate confirmation. Break the rule, pay the price. The ritual isn't just superstition, it's survival. They believe they have to follow the pattern's own playbook to survive it.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Now, contrast that really active, high-stress ritual with a more passive approach, avoidance. There's this other story about a grandmother's old house. It's abandoned now. Because it became the center of a string of fatal accidents. Anyone related who went back to the property met some kind of violent, almost bizarre end. One relative died in a sudden fire there. Another fell down the stairs, broke his neck. Someone else was electrocuted by faulty wiring. The last one fell off a ladder just trying to fix a gutter.
A whole sequence of freak accidents, all tied to one location.
Right, so the family's reaction, total avoidance. They apparently moved away, never went back to that town, let alone near the house. The ritual became geographical quarantine. Stay away, stay safe.
That makes sense psychologically. It's creating distance. By blaming the house, they externalize the threat. It's not us, it's that place. It helps them cope, perhaps makes the fear manageable because it's contained, geographically bounded. So if we pull back and look at all these accounts, what are the common threads? There's this intense focus on specifics, isn't there? Timing, gender, location.
Absolutely. Like the Red Man story, that precise 10-year gap, 29, 39, 49, it's almost like a morbid schedule. It takes the randomness out of death and makes it predictable, which is maybe even more terrifying.
It channels the dread. And the dates. May 25th. That specific day. Or that other account we read, where males on the father's side always died in October.
Oh, right. The grandfather in that story died October 3rd, heart attack, right after making a joke about it.
Joking about being effectively immortal 11 months of the year.
Yeah.
That dark humor. It's a coping mechanism itself, isn't it? A way to live with this specific looming deadline.
And the gender focus is so strong in some cases. The red man, the dragon curse, only the men.
Which creates this strange dynamic. The women are spared the direct threat, but they become the carriers, the ones who might bear the next potential victim. Two different kinds of inherited anxiety side by side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the key takeaway, I think, regardless of whether you believe in the supernatural element or not, is how these patterns of misfortune get cemented into family history. When tragedy keeps hitting in a way that looks like a pattern, same age, same date, same gender, our brains latch onto that. We're wired to see patterns, even in randomness. The family then builds a narrative, the curse, to explain what feels unexplainable. And that narrative starts dictating behavior, creating rituals and forcing avoidance. And tragically, maybe through stress, maybe through suggestion, maybe through confirmation bias, it can even contribute to the pattern continuing. They don't just see the pattern, they live it.
So it makes you think, doesn't it? About your own family, maybe. When does a run of bad luck stop being just that and start feeling like something else? When does it become the official story? And here's something to consider. If you discovered a pattern like this in your own family history tied to a specific date, maybe an age you're approaching, what would you do? Would you break the tradition? Maybe tempt fate to prove it wrong? Or would you follow the ritual, play it safe, even if part of you doubts it's real? It's a chilling thought. If you found this deep dive compelling, if you're drawn to these kinds of chilling stories and analyses, please do like this, share it, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We explore the unsettling and the unexplained. Thanks for listening.